the house of cards is trembling. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. We're standing at the edge of a financial cliff, and the ground is crumbling beneath our feet. Donald Trump is preparing to pull the emergency brake on a train that's already derailing, while historical patterns scream that we're witnessing the final countdown before impact. This is not just another market dip, friends. This is the year when the rules get rewritten, and only those who see it coming will survive. Subscribe now, because what I'm about to show you could change everything you think you know about money, power, and the future. Let's dive in. Let's start with the numbers that don't add up. US inflation just dropped to 2.4% in January, beating every forecast. On paper, that's rocket fuel for markets. Yesterday, we saw S&P 500 and Bitcoin bouncing back. But here's what nobody's talking about. Despite inflation cooling to nearly the Fed's 2% target, rate cut expectations are frozen solid. March? No change, 90% probability. April? Same story, 70% chance of holding steady. Jerome Powell is not blinking until his term ends in mid-May. But wait, it gets darker. A new monster just entered the room. Deflationary recession. Bloomberg senior strategist Mike McGlone is waving red flags, warning that the very medicine meant to cure inflation could kill the patient. In my view, we're looking at a perfect storm, tight monetary policy colliding with market volatility, forcing investors into survival mode, choking off economic oxygen. The patient is stable, for now. Now look at this bloodbath hiding in plain sight. Since January, the so-called Magnificent Seven is showing cracks. Amazon and Microsoft? They're the biggest losers. Amazon just logged its longest losing streak since 2006, $470 billion in market cap evaporated in just 9 trading days. On January 29, Amazon shares crashed 12% in a single session, the worst drop since 2020. But here's the terrifying part. Zoom out to the entire S&P 500, and at least 115 stocks have plunged 7% or more in a single day over the past 8 sessions. Yet the index itself? Down just 2% from its all-time high. The last time we saw this kind of internal carnage while the index stayed near peaks. The dot-com bubble of 2000. For comparison, in 2008, this signal triggered when we were already in a bear market. This is unprecedented. Investors are partying on the deck of the Titanic while the hull is taking water. Risk appetite is at historic highs while the foundation rots beneath us. Meanwhile, the crypto graveyard is getting crowded. Even with Bitcoin's attempt to reclaim $69,000, the picture is grim. As the most volatile asset class, Bitcoin is the canary in the coal mine, and it entered bear territory last autumn, currently sitting 52% down from its highs. But the real story is not the price, it's the regulatory guillotine falling. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just officially withdrew government support for Bitcoin. Meanwhile, bankers are waging war on the Clarity Act, the one law that could save stablecoins, the lifeblood of crypto liquidity. While U.S. banks try to strangle dollar stablecoin yields through regulatory capture, savvy investors are already rotating into alternative yield instruments and offshore vehicles paying double-digit returns, just for holding. The smart money isn't waiting for permission, it's moving to where the doors are still open. But the real earthquake is geopolitical. Trump just issued a statement that should send chills down your spine. The best thing that could happen to Iran is regime change. His exact words. They talked and talked for 47 years. We lost too many lives. This isn't diplomacy, it's a prelude. Trump just ordered the world's largest warship and the newest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, to the Middle East. Soon, 2 carrier strike groups will sit off Iran's coast. This is Chekhov's gun on a global scale, it must fire. Iran says they'll negotiate, but won't budge on ballistic missiles or uranium enrichment. Trump has painted himself into a corner. 2 carrier groups cost too much to retreat empty-handed. But starting a war without a quick victory scenario? Political suicide with midterms approaching. So what's his escape route? He's going to break the system from within. Trump announced he's issuing an executive order to impose federal voter ID requirements, overriding state election laws. This is the nuclear option, a desperate play to rig the game for Republican victory. I warned my audience weeks ago. We're looking at the final 2 years of Trump's presidency, or even the first impeachment and removal of a sitting president in U.S. history. The Republican crack just became visible. On February 12, the House voted to cancel Trump's tariffs on Canada. Zero chance of passing the Senate or getting Trump's signature, but the precedent is set. Republicans broke ranks. The dam is leaking. Here's what all this means for your money. Markets hate uncertainty, and uncertainty is exploding. Look at the flood into international equity funds. Is this liquidity euphoria or smart money fleeing U.S. risk? The Dow just broke 50,000, and Trump promised it would double to 100,000 in 3 years. What happened next? An immediate 1% pullback. The only thing holding markets up is the hope that after Powell leaves and before the midterms, Trump will engineer a massive pump to buy Republican votes. This theory gets stronger when you realize Trump needs Elon Musk's money, and the world's richest man wants to become history's first trillionaire. Enter the SpaceX-Xi merger IPO, valued at $1.25 trillion, expected this June, possibly timed for Elon's birthday. He's already stoking the hype, promising a moon city within 10 years. This isn't financial advice, it's pattern recognition. The next few months? Sideways chop. We might see S&P 500 correct to 6,500 and Bitcoin back at $60,000. But after May? The SpaceX pre-IPO hype machine kicks into overdrive. New stock records. Crypto recovery. Traders will make fortunes. But here's the critical warning. Don't get euphoric. Once the SpaceX IPO completes, the music stops. No more drivers. U.S. economic and political problems take center stage. A Republican midterm loss would be the final nail. I'll be tracking every move. See you in the next one. If this analysis resonated with you, if you feel the ground shifting beneath your feet, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash the like button to boost this video through the algorithm and help others see what's coming. Drop a comment. Are you preparing for the storm or hoping it passes you by? Your engagement isn't just support, it's survival intelligence for the community. Stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, in times of chaos, preparation beats prediction.